dear sub friends and sub colleagues. In today's video I would like to show you some tricks with the ABAP debugger, or actually these are not really tricks, but some very useful functions or ways how you can debug, and I'm not going to lose any time, so let's jump into the system and see how this is working. So as you can see, we are already logged in the system and I've already opened the report for the ALV grid, which I've created for this YouTube channel. There is a video how we have done this previously in the channel, and basically this is a ALV grid with save function, so we are able to make changes in the table directly on the database from the execution of this report. And however, this is not what we need now. I want to show you some very useful functions in the debug mode and how you can work better with the debugger. For this reason, we are going to set some breakpoints, and we would like to set one breakpoint here. Let's say one breakpoint here as well, and where get data is. It's also an option, and here we would like to set one more. Actually, I want to show you three things today, and for this reason, let's start with the first. The first is about the selects, because selects, as I've mentioned in two videos before this one, it is actually very important that you understand the selects and the joins and stuff, because they're very important when it comes to data and extracting data from the databases. And for this reason, we are already into the debugger. And what I want to show you first is how you can actually, without setting breakpoints to all the different selects, how you can see which are all the selects that you have in the report. And this is happening pretty easy, but you have to go to break and watchpoints here. And from here, you have to say new. And where the ABAP commandos are, the first window here, you just have to type select, enter, and then I go usually to save, but I'm not sure whether this is mandatory. Then you say desktop tree, where we have been, and then you say F8 or just continue to the next breakpoint. And even if you do not have a breakpoint there, you see now we set 4 breakpoints, and this is the third one here, I think, right? Here, yeah, we have 2 more here. Okay, this is the second one. This one I haven't seen it, and you continue now. And it goes to the next select which we have not set breakpoint to, right? And so on. We'll go through every select which has been actually, so to say, on the way, right? And you see every single select. And I find this condition very useful when it comes to selects and stuff. I just continue now because I want to go to the next breakpoint which we set. Okay, so now the table is open, because now if we make a change, we'll open a form from the report which is for the changes, and there is our internal table on which we loop, and there I'll show you the second very useful thing which you can use. It is amazing what actually this debugger can. We say now from Barcelona we make it Barca, we click enter, and we click on save. And now we are into the loop, because this is the form for the save button, so to say. And basically we are looping here over an internal table. And this internal table has 23 rows, 16 columns, but the rows are what we are interested in. And basically we want now to see the sy-tabix. I mean, this is the row on which we are, and we're on the first row. Now I click one time F8, and we are now on the second row, right? So let's say there are 15,000 rows, and it will take a lot of time if you click, let's say, 3,000 times to get to the 3,000th row. And there is an option how you can do this, and there are actually a few options, but there is one, the easiest one is to go to break and watch points once again, and then to go to just a second. I have to think for a second. We are now here. Then you go to conditions on this white sheet of paper here, where the yellow arrow is. And then you say sy-tabix equal 5. We want to go just now from the second to the fifth row. Say OK. As I said, I click on save usually, but then I go to desktop tree. And now I just click F8. And if I remove this breakpoint actually here, and I click on F8, okay, it hasn't happened. I think I've made a mistake somewhere on the way. Yeah, I definitely made a mistake. Okay, so we have to repeat this. I think I set the condition not to the right place. Okay. Yeah, bad things happen. Now we remove this. Okay. So now we try once again, because I definitely did a mistake. And basically, we have now just one breakpoint where our loop over the internal table is, and we execute the program. We'll get directly to the. Okay, so there are actually now the breakpoints are still there. They're still to see, but we just say F8 or yeah, and we make once again here a change, and from Barca we make it again. We will make it again. Barcelona. We click on save and we go to the loop over the internal table. If I click once again on the internal table, there are the 23 rows, and if I write here where the variables are sy-tabix, we're on the first one. Okay, so what we do now, we are actually going to the break and watch points, and here we have our main code, so to say, activities, and now we have here the breakpoints, and the one which we are interested in is this one. This is the one, and I actually shouldn't. I think I shouldn't have removed the breakpoint there. Let's do it once again. We just say sy-tabix equal 5, and we go to OK. Then we go to, now this is the upper one, now we go to save. We go to desktop tree. And now you see we're on sy-tabix is 1, I click continue. And we are on the 5th row. And this is actually, my mistake was actually very, very simple. I removed the breakpoint because I thought that it is functioning as a select. I mean, I usually know how this is functioning, but I did a mistake. You should not remove this breakpoint, even though you are, so to say, in the loop. And if you normally click on F8, you get to the next row. But if you set the condition to equal 5, then you will go to the fifth row. And as I said, if you have thousands of rows, it is pretty useful thing. There are different ways to do this. Just one example, you can open this table and you can remove all the rows, right? If all the rows except the one or the ones that you need, and then just continue looping over the table. But this is something very hard. I mean, it is not really safe as well. This is the right way to do it. So we are now going to execute this whole thing till end, because I want to show you something different now. And this will be the last thing for today. Maybe for some of you know that there were times where the debugger wasn't looking like this. This is actually the new debug mode and the new debugger. And basically there has been another one, the classical one. And now I will show you how you can how you can use the old one, the old debug mode, if you wish to. And in a next video, I would like to compare the two. Please write in the comments if you want to see a comparison between the old and the new debug mode, or the old and new debuggers, because there are some very specific things, so to say, which or differences which are useful in different situations, and I would like to compare them. But I'm just curious whether some of you have been experiencing the absence or the presence of some functions in the different modes, and as I said, I would definitely like to make another video. Let's just see now how this is functioning. We're now in the report again. We have breakpoints, so we go to help here, and then to settings, and then from here you have debugging, and here we have this ABAP debugger sub window, from where you can say the classical one or the newer one. If I say the classical one, then this setting will stay, and every time when I debug, it would open the classical one. So I'm going now to show you how the old one is looking, and then we are ready for this video. But let's say we have the classical one here, and we say execute. We go to execute. We should make a change. We make once again parser. We go save. And now this is the old one. And there are some functions, as I said, which are different, and some you can observe some more things here. But this is all for now, and I would like to ask you a question in a second. So guys, this was all for today. As you have seen, I've made a mistake as well, but this is happening from time to time. We're clicking too fast and stuff. Important is that we do not make mistakes in production. That this is the reason why we have test systems and test data. But however, this is not the point. The point is, I want to ask you one more time a question about the last thing that I showed you, about the two different debug modes. Because as I said, I can tell you a story actually. It was like 2-3 months ago. I spoke to a very good developer in ABAP, which has like 30 years of experience and is working for different consulting companies and stuff. And this guy was actually working on our system, and I wanted to ask him something because we had a very technical problem with web services, with SOAP architectures and stuff. And he actually showed me that I'm able to observe the memories of the different field symbols, if you wish, because they have memories as well. And there was actually a shortage of memory in a specific moment, and he showed me that we are able to observe this through the old debugger, but not through the new one. And this is the reason why I want to ask you if there are people who have experience with this stuff. Are there situations where you need the old one, or is it the case that you always come good with the situations with the new one? This is my question for you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I wish you all the best. Stay healthy, stay tuned, and till next time, friends. Goodbye.